Hi Aqua, welcome back to the channel. All right, what I have for you right off the bat, there is a very strong union coming up for you, or you could already be in union with this person. This feels like a soulmate. It feels like someone that you're meant to do life with for a significant amount of time, if not forever. But the problem with this situation is that someone tends to be just a little bit sneaky. You're dealing with someone, or someone sees you as this way. You're dealing with someone who wants their cake and they want to eat it too. Okay. So there's an energy of someone who adores you, who loves you, who you guys are very compatible. You guys are soulmates. But for some reason, they can't put down like a bad habit or a wandering eye or having a third party involved. Okay. And also with this card, I feel like someone may go through someone's phone. Could be happening during the weekend. All right, so we have sneaky. This talks about fake profiles hiding from you behind the scenes and social media. Could be on someone's Instagram, their DMs, who they're speaking to, things like that. So something is going to be revealed. Now, I feel like whoever is finding this information out, whether this is you or if it's your person, sorry, whoever's finding this out, they don't react with anger. They don't react with sadness or crying or breaking down. It feels like a cycle that keeps happening. So this is not someone's first rodeo with dealing with this. And the way that someone reacts to this is through hope, like having optimism that, one day this person's going to change. One day that this is going to be different. This person's going to value me this year and they're going to stop doing this. So there's like this strong sense of star card energy, which is your energy, Aquarius, of hoping and knowing, having this inner knowing that a situation eventually is going to become better. All right. And I know that because we have faith here. So someone's wishing, praying, hoping that someone changes, or, that they change their habits or change their environments. Because it feels like whoever this is has a lot of deep love for their person, but they tend to be influenced. Okay. And that's not an excuse. Okay. So obviously someone here has a very strong appetite for their sexual desires. Someone could be a little loose around the hips. Okay. So Ravenous is here. It talks about uncontrollable desires, like someone subconsciously doing something, a pattern that is recycling in this person's life, a habit that someone does without even thinking, not thinking clearly, moving into impulses or moving into desires, temptation, things like that. This person obviously has a strong appetite for sex. That's on the card. Okay, so this talks about a hunger for pleasure or hunger for fun. They have a hard time sitting still. It's almost like this person needs to learn how to sit on their hands, And last but not least, we have union, as you've seen in the thumbnail. This talks about reconciliation. So this person is coming back into your life, or they want to fix things between you two. But it feels like the problem is still apparent. Like the problem has not been fixed as of yet. Okay. And they want to make it work. They're wanting a second chance. So let's see how that's going to go for you. Sorry, y'all. Let me pull some more oracle and just talk more about this connection. What else can you tell me for Aquariuses watching? Anything significant that they should expect between them and this person moving forward the next couple of months? What can they expect? Okay. First and foremost, expect communication. Now, expect communication about this person with the letter coming out, but also expect communication about this person's red flags. The, actions and the habits that you do not like about this person that end up disappointing you, expect that also to come to the forefront, okay? We have avalanche. And avalanche talks about a major force happening, uncontrollable. Okay, so that kind of reminds me of this card of the uncontrollable desires. Obviously, someone has a problem that they need to address. Okay, having a chain reaction, something unexpected happening, a wipeout, imminent danger, emergency, external force, something that builds momentum and a sudden possible change. I feel like your prayers are being answered about this person. It's almost like it gets worse before it gets better. Okay. We have geese. So this person is going to need you by their side as they move into healing, or they move into, getting out of temptation. They are going to need a team. Now, if it's not you and you feel like I no longer want to hold that responsibility with this person, I've been there, done that. This could be like their family members. Sorry, y'all, I'm still getting off of my cold. This could be with their family members or their friends, holding their hand, moving them towards a better existence, basically. So this talks about being on a quest, migration, relocation. I feel like someone's environment is their detriment. Someone needs to get out of a bad or shady environment. All right. This talks about being dependable. So again, someone's going to need your help. You may not want to help this person. You want them to help themselves, but they are going to depend on you during this time. This is a time where this person needs to know where they're going, know what they want out of life, know what they want with you, and then follow that course. This is the energy of leaving no one behind. So this is where that faith comes through, because even if this person is doing something to harm you or disappoint you, you still may feel sole responsibility for this person as your soulmate. Okay. It talks about cycles. Okay. So like, let's not repeat another cycle. Let's not do this again. And it talks about being faithful. All right. We also have bear here. I feel like this is your person, by the way. They could be the bear. So this person could be a boss or a CEO or a judge, or they may be a man or a woman of status. They could be a coach. They could be in finance. This person has benefits or status or some type. They have benefits that come with them, This also makes me think of like military with benefits. This person is really focused on their wealth or wealth accumulation at this time. This person could be very protective of you. This person also could be a mama boy or a mama's girl, like really dependent on their mother. Something significant about their mom, especially if the mom is not in their life, okay? This person is very strong. They have a large presence, or they could be very stocky, okay? This person also could be muscular. They have richness in their life, They have richness possibly in their finances, but in other ways as well. They're rich in family. They're rich in friendship. They're rich in other capabilities that they need to lean into to get out of their detriment. This person is very affluent. And most recently, you can see that this person's a little hairy. They're not grooming themselves. Okay. So they may be growing out a beard. They could be growing out their mustache, a goatee. They could be growing out their hair, maybe they're not shaving their legs. Okay. So they're just kind of like, what would you call it? Backpacking it, or like when you talk about being like outdoorsy, there's an outdoorsy energy about this person. They're just kind of being their true pioneer self. All right. And then last but not least, we have snowflakes. So no matter how large this person's presence is, no matter how big they seem to other people, a lot of people feel small around this person because they have so much success, because they are the boss and the CEO. They are the leader. They're the breadwinner. This person feels like a snowflake, very delicate, very vulnerable. All right. So this could be a very delicate situation. This person's obviously very vulnerable. They feel like you are one of a kind. They know that they will never get another you. So even in getting caught up, they feel scared, like they're going to lose you. Okay. This person needs to be handled with care because inside they're very fragile. There's a change of state happening. There's a change of this person, of who they used to be and who they're becoming. All right. So there's a transient energy that's going with this person. They are going with the flow this time. They are not resisting change this time. Excuse me. And this person needs to really change up some habits, some routines, some environments, because they need to keep a clear head, a level head. Okay. So when they're partying too much, when they're hanging out with their friends who influence them to do bad things, they're not able to think clearly. So there are certain things that this person needs to do to get to a place where they can think for themselves and think freely. All right, with that being said, let's get into your reading. All right, give me some messages for my Aquas about this situation. What can you tell me about this situation for Aquarius and their person, or this person who's coming towards them? What can Aquarius expect with this situation? Give me some messages, please. Ooh, okay, this is in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse. So obviously there's not so good news coming towards you about this person, unfortunately, okay? But we already knew that based off of the cards that are coming out. So there's not good news coming in. There's like bad news coming in about this person. What else do we have here? Okay, we have a wild card here. I'll show you in a second. What else? All right, Five of Wands. Ooh, we have another wild card. Very interesting. All right, right now on the bottom of the deck, this person is the Hangman and also Temperance, okay? So they're needing Temperance and they're currently in the state of the Hangman. This person right now needs to let go of their old ways. It's hard for them to do so. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, okay? So that's how this person is currently feeling about what they need to do to be able to lead on a successful union with you, to gain your respect back. They know that they need to make a lot of changes, but this person has a certain mindset that keeps them limited or stuck. They could be very stubborn. They could be very prideful. It's hard for them to admit their wrongs. It's hard for this person to be accountable for some reason. You know, that obviously is dealt with certain situations. Maybe they feel like in the past or even as a child growing up, being accountable and telling on themselves has led them to a lot of pain, you know, versus it being freeing. Okay. All right. And in Temperance, this person needs to find balance again. They're very imbalanced. This person makes me think of the devil energy. Not that they're a bad person. It's more so their appetite for temptation. That's what's going on with this person. They have now dipped their toes so deep into temptation that it's hard to get back and stand up straight. All right, so let's start off with the Page of Wands in reverse. You're going to find something or discover something or come across something that is not favorable. And let's see what that means. Tell me about the Page of Wands for my Aquas. Page of Wands for Aquarius. And this situation, this person, what is this news coming in? Okay, Two of Swords. So, Two of Swords, Nine of Wands. You are tired of whatever this is, okay? So, first and foremost, someone, for example, let's just put an example out there. Someone told you that they were going to stop doing something, but truly in their mind, truly in their spirit, they knew that they weren't all the way done. So, if I'm cheating on you, it's like, I told you this would be the last time. I'm not going to do that again. Or just F the act of cheating. It could be a third party. Like, you know, there's this certain person that I always get caught up with. I told you I was done with that person. I wasn't going to deal with it anymore. I wasn't going to put you through this anymore. When they told you that, their intentions were true, but in their inside, they felt indecisive about that. They felt like they really, truly didn't want to let that go. Okay. So this is also, again, that energy of having your cake and wanting to eat it too. You want both. You think that you can do both. You can balance both, but you can't. You get caught up every time. And your reaction to this, Aquarius, is the Nine of Wands. You're fed up with this. Okay. Also, too, you're really fed up about this because you're not meeting this person at the same detriment. You're not doing the things that they're doing to you. You could be very balanced right now. You're at home with your kids. When you get off of work for the weekend, you're not about to be out with your friends, scouting the town, looking for new options. You're truly not doing the same things that this person is doing to you. And that's why you're getting super fed up. You also could be very fed up because you've given chance after chance after chance, and you're starting to feel like this person is taking advantage, as they are, okay? So now you're seeing that something that someone told you that they were done with, they truly haven't decided in their heart that they were done. And that is disappointing to you. How does this person react to Aquarius finding out? How do they react when this hits the fan and when you clearly see it for what it is? What is this person's reaction? King of Pentacles, okay, that's shady. That's shady as hell. It's like, okay, let's not talk about your feelings. Let's talk about how I'm about to buy you this new purse. Let's not talk about your feelings. Let's talk about how I'm about to pay your bills. Let's not talk about your feelings and my problem. Let's just talk about going to dinner and then never talking about it, you know? So almost this person comes to you as a provider. They provide something that you actually may need. If you need money, if you need a bill paid, if you need, you know, travel expenses, if you need new clothes, if you need a repair in your home, they come with a solution for another problem that's totally not related to what was presented to you. And that also you're tired of. So this person, that's their go-to a lot of times. You're tired of that. You're tired of your feelings being dismissed, or you're tired of things being swept under the rug. Okay. So, you know, it's not being met with, it's not satisfactory for you. That's what I'm seeing. Now your next card immediately from that, and even you may shock yourself because you're not going to cry. You're not going to get angry. You have a lot of calmness that this person needs to embody. You have stillness. That's what this person needs to embody with temperance, is stillness, calmness, being okay by yourself, not having to always get into some mess just for the thrill of it. Stop thrill seeking, right? You meet them with a lot of calmness and confidence. And the reason being is the Faith card. You have faith about this situation. You have faith about this person. Even if you're done with this situation, some of you guys are like, I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm done. You have faith that you will be vindicated in the end. And so you have a wild card here. And this card says to stay positive. You have good news coming in. Yes, you got bad news recently, but some good news is coming in. There is a horizon at the end of all of this. Something is going to change very soon. Let's see why you should be staying positive and optimistic about the situation, even with this most recently happening. All right, clarify the stay positive card for Aqua. Why should Aquarius stay positive in this? All right, justice right off the bat, fairness, equality, getting your get back without having to get your get back. You know, like, first of all, this is a karmic situation where if someone is doing something to hurt you, they will have to answer to those consequences, right? But also things are about to be balanced out for you in a big way. And also, too, I see that a lot of people thought you were very delusional over this person because you have the 7 of Cups here. When you would tell people, like, you know, me and this person are soulmates, we're meant to be, you know, I see our future together. A lot of people thought that you were kind of just being a little bit like head in the clouds. But what those people that you spoke these things to are going to see is that something is actually going to work out in your favor, even better than you even thought for yourself. Okay. So justice and the 7 of Cups. Okay. What is that? What is that? Does your person keep candy in their mouth or something? I feel like this person like keeps candy in their mouth. Like they like to, or they have a piercing on their tongue or something. Someone likes to play with, that sounds crazy. Someone likes to play with something in their mouth. They always, but it's a nervous thing. It's a nervous thing. It's like a nervous tick. So they always need to pop in like a hard candy or a Jolly Rancher. And they're always sucking on something. Or it could be a piercing even. Or maybe it's always gum. Someone's very nervous. So when someone has to talk to you, they're going to have something in their mouth and they're playing with it over and over because they're so nervous to speak to you. Okay, whatever. This person also is in a daze. So like maybe drinking too much, smoking too much, or partying too much. They're kind of not living in reality. They're not rooted in reality. They're running from something, but they're not paying attention to that. They're going to come out of this high, this false high. It's a lot of like lies this person has been listening to that they told themselves, okay? This person may feel a lot of pressure from you to get their shit together. And so this other person that they deal with doesn't hold them accountable for a lot of things. And it feels easier to deal with that person, but that's a false energy. That's someone who's leading you to your detriment, right? You're just trying to lead this person to being their best self, but you also demand respect at the same time. So I feel like they've been leaning on someone who just doesn't hold them accountable, or someone who is their yes woman or yes man. All right. 5 of Wands. Okay, so there is a little bit of a standoff, but it's not that serious. Matter of fact, I see you being so cool, calm, and collected, and this person is heightened. They're yelling. They're argumentative. They're defiant. You're very calm. So it's kind of like petty to you, or it's kind of funny to you. I see you smirking possibly. All right, so there's conflict. Now this person's bringing you a little bit of drama by getting loud or getting defiant. You're not coming to them that way, and it's kind of like humorous to you. I see you smiling in this person's face. Okay, what's the 5 of Wands? Yeah, 4 of Wands. Okay, so this could happen in your home, or you're gonna be at home when this happens. So maybe it's like a FaceTime call or something, but they definitely are seeing how cool, calm, and collected you are. You can't help but to smirk. You're not mocking this person. You're smirking because you're the one who's getting hurt in a situation, but they're the ones who are angry. Okay, see what else is here. There's a lot of you and this person are like fighting about your relationship, like how things are supposed to go. Or maybe you're telling them like, hey, if you want to be single, be single. But they're like, no, I don't want to be single. I want you. So there's like this tug of war going on. You're super cool, calm, and collected. You have the Queen of Swords, okay? So you're receptive to this person, but you're also detached from their antics, like getting upset, acting sad, acting like they're depressed now because of this situation, being found out. You're detached from that. You're not coddling them. You're not babying them. Maybe that's what they need from you, or they feel like they need that because, again, you had the bear, which is like mama bear energy. So they want someone to mother them or nurture them. You're not doing that, but you are listening. You're receptive. You're listening to everything that they're saying. I keep hearing someone say, you're not listening to me. You're not listening, but you are. You know, they're not listening to themselves, though. Or do you hear yourself? When you talk, do you hear yourself? Okay. It's interesting. You are giving logic to this person. They're saying, I want this relationship. I want my marriage. I want us together. I want my family. And you're giving them logic. You're like, okay, you can want those things, but your actions don't align with that. So logically, it shows that you don't want that. Like something is clicking from your calmness and just being a straight shooter. You're not sugarcoating anything. You're not coming towards them super emotional. You're just telling it how it is. And something is clicking to this person. So the last card we have here is the End of Greed. Someone was being selfish in this situation. Someone was being greedy with your generosity, taking your generosity for granted. That is coming to an end. Someone is seeing how selfish they have been with you. Something clicks from your calmness, like just being super calm and just keeping it straight up with this person, not sugarcoating, just calling it out for what it is. And I also think your loss of emotion is also making this person change. They used to be able to get a reaction out of you, not anymore. So that scares them. Now, because this person is going to be ending their selfish ways, I do see you guys are able to rebuild your friendship, because love is partnership and it's also friendship, you know, and that's also like regaining your respect, regaining your trust, that they're a true friend and that you have a true friend in them, that they're not going to do anything to hurt you. So I see you and this person reconciling. I see you guys doing some really fun things. But over the course of the next months, you guys will be rebuilding your friendship, the trust factor that you guys have lost. Also, I'm seeing the Ten of Wands. So this person is going to have to work really hard. This does not go without consequences with the Justice card. It's not easy. You're not just letting them back into your life, you know, all willy-nilly. They're going to have to work for it. During this next course of these months, as well as this person is putting in a lot of the work, you're going to see all of their insecurities. The facade is going to fall. A lot of the reason why they were cheating, a lot of the reason why this person would keep many people around, a lot of the reason why they would be, you know, so sexual is insecurity inside the moon. Also, anxiety. This person is like the candy in the mouth, or the thing that they're twirling in their mouth or sucking on. Anxiety. They have anxiety in life. That needs to be addressed. That hopefully this person seeks help or healing through that. Very anxious. It's almost like this person is like a boss or a CEO, or their finances are well, but they stress about being able to maintain that. That's something they're going to have to heal. Stop running from that and acting in the devilish ways to try to soothe yourself. It's not long lasting. All right. Last but not least, last message for you is the Hierophant. You and this person are going to move forward with your relationship, and there will be monogamy. This person's going to adopt a more traditional way of dealing with you, and the respect will be gained through hard work and hard effort. It's going to be a lot, but it's what's needed, and it's the consequences for all the shit that they put you through. All right, so you should have hope and stay optimistic about this person, because they are going to change for you. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Aqua.